This man is downtrodden. His name's John, and he's fading away. He's in his mid-40s, and he's unsuccessful, and he seems to be disappearing. He's just been into the housing department to check how far up the list he is in getting a better standard of council house. This is 1972, and he's in central London, and he's been nagged by his wife, to check the housing list to see when they're going to get a better house. And they inform him that he's not even on the list, and he says that can't be true. So he wanders out of the big building and heads along the street. He's completely bewildered because he's been waiting for years for an improved house, and they told him he wasn't even on the list. This very much upset him. So he's talking to himself and walking down the street. Very busy traffic there, central London, 1972, and he's in amongst a whole lot of people, but his mind is very agitated because the blow of finding out he said he didn't even know who he wasn't even on the list at all for a house. Meanwhile, a detective has just driven up, got out of his Rover P5, and he's went in to John's house to speak to his missus, because there's been some kind of incident, and he's trying to check what it's all about. So he's turned up at John's house to speak to his wife, and the street is very dingy. There's kids peering at this fancy cop car, and in the background there's a big factory belching out smoke from those big chimneys. So it's not a very great place to live, and that's why his wife's been nagging him to get on the list and get up there and prioritised for a better house. And when he went to the Department of Housing, they said they had no record of him. So now John's sitting in the London Underground in a carriage, wondering what his wife's come to. It seems like no one recognises him, no one notices him, and this was official. No record of him even having applied for the house, and this stunned him. That's him there, sitting there, looking despondent. Back at his home, the detective is asking if there's any pictures around, photographs of John, and his wife produces this old picture, and it appears that he's even disappeared from the photograph. And this is a bit baffling because the wife said, well, he was in it. And the detective's looking a bit incredulous. What do you mean he was in it? And then he's not in it. The detective says, was it not him that took the picture? And she says, no, it was his brother that took the picture. His brother's a successful guy and can do things like that. John doesn't handle things. He was in the picture. So the detective says, so why is he not in there now? And she says, I don't know. He was in it. So John appears to be disappearing from the housing list and from his own family photographs. So in the carriage, John's in a very agitated state, so he gets up and starts wandering about and tries to get noticed by people. And people don't see him at all, so he goes up quite close to this woman and stares at her. But she's entirely indifferent. He doesn't see him at all. And this is very concerning. Poor John. I mean, what is happening to this poor guy?